What's fascinating with this, I'm already thinking not only in terms of 2022, but I'm also into the mode of 2023, 2024, and it is about driving growth. My key in terms of today is to have an impact and to help support you have an impact with your team. What I recognize with this is from a leadership point of view, your business will never outperform your leadership. So leaning into who you are as a leader and enhancing that, growing that, developing that, whether that be coming to Business of Real Estate, working through our sales management program that's coming up next month, or maybe looking at RER Network if it's a viable option for you to really beef it up. Because when you do that, all of a sudden you can have a big impact with it. Now, in terms of the Are You Ready, this is a conversation I'd love you to be having with your team, because what we recognize, we've been able to take pieces out of the Jenga blocks and still get the job done. What we're seeing is a marketplace that will not be kind to missing pieces in the Jenga block. So this is about making sure that the structure is incredibly solid and the strategy is incredibly solid to be able to make sure we capitalize on that. To help you with that, I thought I'd property clock into this. This is something, and this is not, my IP specifically, but it's something that I've built based on a whole series of R&D and market research. What we know is there are basically four key phases within the property market. So you've got the boom, you've got a market slowdown, you've got a market slump, and then you've got a market recovery. And then outside here, what I've done is I've put a whole series of dynamics that show sort of what sort of dynamics are happening around here. So, peak of the market, the bottom of the market, market's in decline, market is rising. So why I thought that was quite useful is I've got a lot of clients who are utilizing this in their seller management process, where they're sitting down with an owner and say, where do you think we're at? Now, some are using the hours. So we're at 1 o'clock, we're at 2 o'clock, we're at 3 o'clock, but we're certainly no longer at 12 o'clock in most marketplaces. So the question is, real estate exists on volume, not on sale price. So we want to make sure we can support clients making the best decision. What I will say is we're probably not going to get as many profit makers, profit takers that are coming in the marketplace. So we're coming to a more balanced part of the market that we're seeing right now. So how would someone use it? The other way I've seen people use it is we're 5 past, we're 10 past. So either do it based on minutes or do it based on hours. I've got no sort of energy around which is right. It's more what's going to work within your agency and with your team. What I'd like to get a sense of, just before we move on, give me a chance to have a sip of H2O, is where in your marketplace do you think you are? Let's do hours. So are we 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock? Are you 11 o'clock in your marketplace? Just if you can just drop that in. Terry, 1 o'clock. Yeah, 1 o'clock. 1, still at 12. Great, Jason. It's 11. That is funny. 1, a little after 12, 12:30. Thanks, Mark. Why would you say 1 when you can say 12:30? Very good. So this is even great to ask your team, because what's important is what strategies do we need to activate now? And for those of you who've been in the market for a while, you know that real estate is a market. A lot of agents forget that. A lot of clients forget that. So how do we make sure we can lean in and help them understand and see where the value sits with that? So if we go on one step from there, and that's a tool I recommend that you absolutely have your team utilizing and working with. Just to sort of set the scene, I think many of you know I have Real Estate Results Network. We created it some 16 years ago to help really create a collegiate mode of independent agencies. Business of Real Estate is our annual conference that has not been annual for the last couple of years. We're confident that we're running September 5th and 6th on the Gold Coast this year. Love to see you guys participate and be part of that. Then we have 2 agent performance programs. One is called Agent Bootcamp. The other is Super Teams. For Agent Bootcamp is about helping agents lift their performance. And that's now an on-demand program. That means that you can log in on demand and see those. And Super Teams also is an on-demand program, great for agents wanting to build their effective business unit. My version of that is clearly a super team. wanting to take that next level, we do have a super team coaching club that takes super team to the next level with some support. And then from a leadership point of view, what we've got is our Coach the Coach program. It's now on demand. We have a new program this year called Business Builder, and we have a sales managers program that is running in May. And all of these particular programs are online on demand, or they're live in terms of being streamed with it. So some amazing support there in terms of options for you to consider. What I will say, just to give you a sense of some of the amazing agencies, these are all RER network members. The smallest network member is transacting a couple million in revenue. The largest is over 50 million in revenue. Some are one office, some have got multiple offices in their marketplace. But the thing I love about working with these agencies, it's a real partnership in terms of helping them grow and the collegiate kind of sharing and supporting along those lines in the growth, the development and enhancement of the business. So just a little insight there that can work. Once we appoint a member in an area, it's the only agency who can be a network member in that particular marketplace. Okay, let's get back to growth and looking at some key components. What I've identified in terms of the growth framework, there are 3 centers that we look at in terms of helping you and your business grow. So this is the sort of setting the scene for this. So all those clients you just saw in terms of agencies, this is the model that I'm working through with them. The first one is, who are you and what are you bringing to the table within the business? Secondly is the team. How engaged are they? How switched on are they? How committed are they to growth? And the final one is the energy and effort that both you and your team invest in the business to build momentum and help you achieve the results that you're looking for. So for you, the first one is who are you being in the business? And, I'm going to be a bit hard. Are you being a little in the business, or are you being the best leader you possibly can be? Remember, your business is not going to outperform your leadership and the leadership team that you've got. With the team, it's about how are you engaging with the team? And, like a super simple example of this, I've seen the situation where a leader walks in and say, "Good morning, team, how are you?" and keeps walking. That's not engagement. Good morning, team. You're better off saying good morning, team, and keep walking. But if you go, good morning, team, how are you? You need to actually pause and be present to the actual conversation. That's significant for a team. So once again, the pub test, if I met with someone, hey, what's it like working at agency XYZ? It's fantastic. It's amazing. I feel so connected and engaged in. And then we go in to look at the business. There's 2 distinct points here. There firstly is what would be classed as the long-term strategy for the business. And then there is the now performance with this. Now, here's the challenge I see for a lot of great leaders in real estate. Real estate is unbelievably hungry. You're welcome to take a pic of that if you'd like to, and then I'm going to jump out in a moment. So real estate is unbelievably hungry. And that basically means that real estate is going to look for how many now hours can we put in. And you can get confused, particularly those who've come into leadership from being a great agent, that our focus can be on now performance. Now, the last couple of years, you could focus on now performance, and the amount dropping through the bottom line, assuming your model is valid, was pretty significant. My belief is, my crystal ball says, you've got to change to strategy. You've got to change from market-driven to strategy-driven about now to be able to truly capitalize on what's coming next. And that's not just about the now performance, it's now about looking at the strategy from a bigger picture. When you do that, all of a sudden you're starting to activate and capitalize and lean in and build some amazing momentum. So who are you being in the business? How engaged is the team, and how are you engaged with the team? And then finally, the business. What's the long-term strategy? And I look for a 3-ish year strategy. So what does the business look like in 3 years' time? And then come back to the now performance. And the now performance, that what we're doing should, I don't like shoulds, but I'll use a should give us the fastest, most effective pathway, even with twists and turns, to actually get where we're wanting to go. So it's a great way of you starting to look at this and put this into play, and guarantee this has a big impact in terms of team alignment and how we bring it together.